Hey guys, FirstinWeather here, back at it again with a quick update. The main story right now is Hurricane Irma. Even though it is more than 2,000 miles away from the eastern coast, it's making headlines all around the news. And one of the big reasons for this is the history that we have with storms that start with the letter I. And the reason we have a bad history with storms that start with the letter I is because these storms, I storms are usually named in August and September and October, and that's generally the prime for hurricane season, especially in September and early October. That's generally the prime for hurricane season, and during that time is when we have the most storms, and we usually have the I name storms coming around that time. And so an interesting fact is that we've actually had 7 named storms make landfall in the United States. 7 hurricanes make landfall in the United States that started with the letter I. Now, if we look at the regional view of the eastern United States, these are the remnants of Harvey. And as you can see, it's still packing a pretty good punch. Virginia, especially the eastern portions of it, and North Carolina saw some pretty big storms today, and also some very heavy rain in some areas. In fact, parts of South Carolina and North Carolina were placed under a tornado watch, and it's quite amazing to see a system that's been weakened so long now to still pack such a punch. But as you can see, as we take it along further, it starts to weaken a little bit. But one interesting thing is the NAM model is suggesting we see another line come through very early Saturday morning around 1 a.m. and then it really starts to weaken. The rain won't be that heavy, but still, nonetheless, there still will be some pockets of heavy rain. This is very early Sunday, and this is Sunday late morning into the early afternoon. It's bringing rain up into the northeast, and if we look at rainfall totals look to be generally less than 1.5 inches across the area, but a few localized spots could see as much as 3 inches. Now for Virginia, I think some areas could see as much as 4 inches of rain, but most areas should see anywhere from about 1 to 3 inches of rain. Now, as we go to the main story, it is Hurricane Irma. Right now, it is in the eastern Atlantic and is currently a Category 2 hurricane. And if we look at the National Weather Service storm track, it's predicted to be a major hurricane in the entire track. And so the National Weather Service track is taking this southwestward and then making it go up northeastward again. Now, there is a lot of uncertainty with the track of this storm. As most of you know, we are very far out. This storm is still about 10 days out from impacting the eastern United States, and just a small difference, just one model not estimating, not predicting the strength of the trough, or one model not estimating or understanding the strength of a high pressure system in the Atlantic means a huge difference 10 days out. You can be talking a 200, 400, even 600 mile difference just from a small factor. Now, if we look at the storm tracks, this one is taking it in a general southwestern and northwestern motion. And if we go back to some of the other storm tracks, this one is actually a very long range model. However, to be honest, I wouldn't really trust it past this area, this mark. After this, things get very uncertain. We have some taking it to the Gulf of Mexico, some taking it to the northeast, and that is a huge area of uncertainty. We're talking the entire eastern seaboard. So that right now the storm could go here, it could go all the way into Maine. We just don't know yet. It's that far out. And now here's another model taking it up the eastern seaboard. Again, after this area, it's almost impossible to predict because there's just so many factors. However, I will say this. Things are going pretty well for Hurricane Irma. we have a lot of factors in place that are really helping it develop. We have very low wind shear, so that is going to help the storm sustain itself for a while. So if it does impact the United States, it will be strong. It will not be some weak tropical depression or tropical storm. Another thing, the sea surface temperatures where it is predicted to go for the next few days are extremely warm. This is when sea surface temperatures are at their warmest, and that will really help fuel this storm and let it intensify into possibly a Category 4 hurricane in the next couple of days. And so, if we go back to the current storms page, we can see that right now it is in the Eastern Atlantic, and if we look at the intensity charts, it is actually now a major hurricane. It's not a Category 2, it was a Category 2 earlier, but now it's re-intensified into a Category 3, and some of these models are making it intensify into a Category 4 hurricane in the next couple of days. So that really is impressive, and it's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Now, if we look at the GFS model and its latest run, we can see that it's taking this system into the northeast. Obviously, don't trust anything after this area. After this, it could be anything. It could go here, it could go here, it could go here, or it could go out to sea. Who knows? But I want to analyze the conditions in the Eastern Atlantic and the waters just east of the United States. So if we go to the North Atlantic view and switch to the upper air, this is the system, and at that time we're going to have a huge ridge in the Western Atlantic, but also a trough coming into the Eastern United States. The strength of the trough and the strength of this high pressure will mean a world of a difference. Will mean the world of a difference for the track of this system. And so this ridge, again, the winds in a ridge at high pressure are clockwise, so that is supporting the system to go along the eastern coast. But this trough, these winds are coming from the southwest and they're going northeast on this side, so that's supporting the storm to go out to sea. So again, we're just gonna have to wait and see how strong this high pressure is and how strong this trough is. Right now, it's looking like this high pressure, is going to be very strong, and that would support a track inland. However, predicting the strength of a high pressure system this far out is nearly impossible. So I feel like midweek next week, we're going to have a much better idea on where this system could go, and I'll make sure to update you as soon as I get any more information or more accurate data on where this storm could go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to have hurricane safety plans and preparedness kits in place just in case if it does hit you. I mean, right now it is really hard to tell where it will go, but a general rule of thumb is you should always be prepared for the worst case scenario, not just for this system but for any system. We're at the peak of hurricane season, and so another storm might hit your area if you're in the eastern seaboard or the Gulf of Mexico. So it's always just good to be prepared. As we saw in Houston and eastern and southeastern Texas, Hurricane Harvey was absolutely devastating. So make sure to be prepared no matter what. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.